All right. So welcome to the Microdesk webinar series. My name is Megan Fullagar. I'm the marketing manager here at Microdesk. Today's webinar is Get on the Road to Review 12 and will be presented by Meredith Jung. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to introduce Microdesk and Bluebeam. Microdesk provides business and technology consulting services to help firms successfully plan, design, build, and operate land and buildings. We're an AECO industry consulting firm that's been around for 20 years now. We have 11 locations nationwide from coast to coast with over 90 AECO consulting specialists and software developers. Microdesk maintains deep working relationships with industry-leading manufacturers of BIM, CAD, GIS, and FM software technologies. As a result, we provide access to the most comprehensive set of solutions to support the entire project delivery process. We are an Autodesk Gold partner. Our other industry-leading partners include Trimble, Oracle, ESRI, and Bluebeam, amongst others. In short, Bluebeam software makes smart, simple solutions for paperless workflows that leverage the PDF format. It all started way back in 1997 when they developed CAD to PDF creation technology for aerospace engineers. Now, their award-winning PDF creation, markup, and editing solutions are used by the world's top architecture, engineering, and construction firms, as well as government agencies. They also have a strong following among tablet PC users, students and educators, accountants, and even lawyers. With its enhanced PDF markup, editing, and sharing capabilities, Bluebeam Revu pushes the limits of project communication and collaboration. And now, with the latest release, Bluebeam Revu 12 makes it easier than ever to get your documents field ready. In this webinar, we'll be presenting a host of new features, including the ability to embed images into markups for picture-perfect clarity, streamline takeoffs and estimations using enhanced PDF measurement tools, and automatically create hyperlinks by file name, page label, or page region to quickly line up the entire document sets and keep the information you need just a click away, wherever you may be. Meredith Jung is an application specialist at Bluebeam Software, where she advises a variety of companies and organizations on the best practices for streamlining their workflows with Revu. Prior to working at Bluebeam, Meredith specified and installed audio-visual systems for a specialty contracting firm. This real-world experience helps her understand the obstacles faced by project teams trying to meet tight deadlines and budgets. She also educates customers on how Revu resolves these challenges. Just a few logistics before we begin. In order to minimize any background distractions, you are all on mute for the duration of the session. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question area of the toolbar to the right of your screen. Meredith will address as many questions as she can at the end of the presentation. If we run out of time, we'll provide you with our contact information so you can follow up with us. And so now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Meredith.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. As Megan mentioned, my name is Meredith Jung, and I'm an application specialist here at Bluebeam Software. I'm really excited today to show you some of those new features that did just come out in Revu 12, which was released on February 25th. Now, throughout the webinar, do feel free to use that question window, and I will make sure to get as many questions as possible answered during the end of the webinar. So to go ahead and get started here, I'll just share a little bit about Bluebeam. For more than a decade, we've been developing innovative software solutions that enable professionals to collaborate digitally. Our ultimate goal is that we want to help our customers do what they do better. As a company, we continue to play a central role in AEC, oil and gas, and other technical industries. And Bluebeam Revu has really become the industry standard as we focus on providing smart, simple solutions that facilitate digital workflows. Some of those workflows include design reviews, bids and estimates, RFIs, submittals, field inspections, site management, punch, closeout, and plenty more. Now, with each new release, we typically have a theme, and this year that theme is field ready, anywhere, anytime. In Revu 12, we're introducing a SketchUp Pro plugin. So you SketchUp Pro users can now export any model to a 3D PDF and view and manipulate the model right within the Revu interface. AutoMark 2.0. With Review 11, we introduced AutoMark, which allows you to automatically generate page labels and bookmarks from a region on your sheets. Now with Review 12, you can create page labels and bookmarks from multiple regions in the PDF, and also add text, such as prefixes, suffixes, and symbols. Sets 2.0. In Review 11, we also introduced Sets, which allows you to view and navigate individual PDF sheets as if they were a single document in a single tab. In Sets 2.0, we've added the enhanced navigation capabilities, along with the automatic redirection of hyperlinks to the latest revision and compatibility with Studio projects. Batch Link. Batch Link automates the process of creating complex navigational hyperlinks for your plan set. Measurement tool enhancements. Review 12 offers quite a few measurement enhancements, such as being able to calculate length, area, volume, and wall area in a single measurement. And now you can also calibrate for both horizontal and vertical scales. Smart Group. With Smart Group, you can view each element in a group within the markup list and make edits without having to ungroup. Also, subtotals will be automatically calculated for measurement annotations. And Capture. Capture allows you the ability to embed a photo gallery into any markup. You can also scroll through the images and add, delete, or export them. Of course, we didn't stop there. There's even more features available in Review 12, including studio enhancements. There have been a variety of studio enhancements, such as studio session administrators can now grant full control to trusted attendees, and you can now browse to files stored in studio projects through Review's document management toolbar. Static XFA support. PDF forms containing static XFA technology can now be viewed, filled out, and saved within Review. A reduced file size upgrade. Reduced file size has been revamped for improved performance, along with a new user interface. OCR Plus. OCR Plus in Review Extreme offers significant performance improvements for large format drawings. And we didn't forget about headers and footers either. In Review 12, the headers and footer settings are now saved with your document, allowing for easier editing and updating as revisions and new pages are added. Let's go ahead and take a look at Review 12 in action. First, we'll go ahead and jump into SketchUp Pro so that we can demonstrate the new SketchUp Pro plugin. Introduced in earlier versions of Review CAD and Extreme was the ability to create 3D PDFs from Revit, Navisworks, SolidWorks, or any IFC file. But now with Review 12, you can go ahead and create 3D PDFs directly from SketchUp Pro by exporting a 3D model to Bluebeam. We can go ahead and export this right to the desktop. And this really allows for a new means of communicating design ideas or articulating complex 3D information in the universal 3D PDF format. So now that this 3D PDF is created, you can now easily navigate around your design model and even use section boxes to isolate portions of the model. Come on, dig right in here. Maybe chop that right in half. Now you can also transform or move individual model components or even a full group of components over here. So we can select all these trees. And if you think about it, this would be a great way to, for example, explode your model diagrams, show how different components assemble. And of course, using Review, you can always add markups to your 3D PDFs, allowing you to more easily communicate project information with everybody, not just people who have expensive design programs. So with Review 12, our robust 3D PDF options have expanded, but we've also added plenty of enhancements in the 2D world. So let's go ahead and take a look at those now. So to go ahead and get started here on your project, one of the first things you're typically going to want to do is to create a smart document set that's easily navigable by users in the field. So if we open the Thumbnails tab over here, one of the things that you'll notice is that these pages are all numbered pretty generically, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Instead of manually typing in the appropriate drawing number for each page label, we can simply go ahead and click Create Page Labels, and actually use a page region to get that drawing number. Now with Review 12, AutoMark just got smarter. Now we can go ahead and select multiple regions on the page, so we can even add this drawing title perhaps, and even add prefixes and suffixes, giving us complete control over the way that our bookmarks or page labels appear. As you can see, Review has gone ahead and created these page labels for the entire set in just a matter of seconds, right? All labeled up. Now, even better, your text doesn't even have to be searchable to be selectable, or selectable to be used with AutoMark 2.0. It works with files that contain non-searchable text, such as scans, to get your PDFs in order, regardless of how they were made. Now, in the same way that we created our page labels, we can also just as easily create bookmarks for our document. And as a final step, we can easily extract each of these sheets, should probably talk a little slower, as a separate PDF, so we can create a lean and light set of documents for quicker field access. So we'll take all these pages and we'll extract them as separate files using those page labels to name them, and go ahead and update our hyperlinks with relative tabs. There we go. Select that folder, extract those sheets. And now what you'll see real quick right here is that we've got all of those sheets in this folder now. Quick and easy. Now, unfortunately, there is one drawback to working with sheets this way. And that problem is that as we open each new file, they're going to open on a new tab. You lose that flexibility to work with those related files like you can in that combined set of documents. Now in Review 11, Sets was introduced to fix just this issue. So here within Sets, I'm going to go ahead and create a new set that will allow us to get the best of both worlds. We'll have the flexibility to keep our files light and lean and simultaneously be able to view and navigate them as if they're a single document. So we'll add all of those files that we just exported here. Open those up. We're going to sort them by the file name and page label. And then using the advanced menu, we're going to go ahead and establish a rule here that will allow us, based on that file name, to actually take any revisions and stack them and cross out any of the older numbers. And let me make sure that I've got that revision typed properly here. And then I'm going to go ahead and save this set right here and click OK. And what you'll see now is that we have all of these sheets, and they open in a single tab, just as though they were a single document. Now in Review 12, Sets 2.0 introduces a few enhancements, including the ability to view these files as a list instead of thumbnails, keeping that easier to view. But also the ability to tab through, either using the up and down arrows on a keyboard or using the arrows down here to navigate through the document set. Now, sets are also now fully compatible with Studio projects, making it even easier to share your set with the entire project team. For those of you who are not aware, Projects is a free feature in Review that acts as a lightweight document management system, allowing you to store an unlimited number of files and file types. Now all of your project partners will have access to the entire set and can open and check out individual files from within the set as needed, straight from Studio Project. And of course, these files can be synced down locally so that you can work offline while you're in the field. So this is great. Yeah, we've got our set going here. We've got our page labels. And to get going with this project, we really want to create a navigable set of drawings here. Something that will allow both our office and field users alike to quickly click to a reference sheet, elevation, detail, RFI, or something else. So the current process for setting up these hyperlinks and making this navigable plan set is that we go over here to markup, we click hyperlink, we would highlight that, we would then select file A100 from our folder, click OK, and go through and do it again. As you can tell, this is a pretty time-intensive process. It's easily a couple days and or weeks, depending on the size of the project, for either an intern or a project engineer. Now with Review 12 Extreme, we can automate this linking using the batch link process. So we can go ahead and search through our files, a folder, a series of folders, entire directories, or even go through this current set. And Review will analyze all of the documents and automatically create hyperlinks to the corresponding destinations. So if we do this using the set, we're going to create the hyperlinked index sheet and link all of the elevation details in this set as well. So we'll start by searching by sheet number, using that page region just like we did for AutoMark. Come on down here, take that drawing number, and we'll click OK. We can add more, but we'll go simple for this one. Now, when we click Generate, what you're going to see is that a variety of sheets have now been linked to those page numbers, drawing numbers here. And we can use the link manager to update this list as needed and save this configuration for future use. So if we did needed to choose a revision instead, we could update that file name, or we can go ahead and save this to the set so that we can run this again in the future. Now, one of the things to note under the link options is that we have the ability to highlight these links, making them easy to see on the page. I'm going to go ahead and pick a nice shade of blue for that. Again, save this to the set so we've got all of those settings saved for if we have to generate new ones in the future. And then as soon as I select Run, you'll see that all of these drawing sheets and details are being automatically linked together based on my search parameters. So just a couple seconds compared to a couple days or weeks, and we've got 132 links automatically created for us. Now, as revisions are being submitted through here, actually, let's step back a second and let me show you how those links actually work. So here's that first link, A201. Here's an elevation detail, A300. And what you'll see is that there's another detail here for A700. And we can click right through all of those as we navigate through the document. Now, of course, with any project, there's always going to be revisions. And as they are submitted throughout this project, we can choose Add Files to update those files and add them to our set. So here's the revisions that have been issued since we created our set. We're going to click Open. And one of the things you'll notice right away is that Revue's gone ahead and stacked them here in the older revision and our original document here, which has those hyperlinks already created. Now, the nice thing about sets in Review 12 is that when it comes to this index sheet, it's automatically been updated within the set to jump to the correct revision. But we need to recreate all of those other hyperlinks on the page. And as I mentioned earlier, we can save those search terms so that when these new revisions come in, we could upload all the revised sheets at one time and reuse those batch link settings to add hyperlinks to them. So let's go ahead and run batch just one more time. So we'll batch link the current set. We're going to go ahead select that page region again so that we can get that drawing number. Okay, and just regenerate all of these search terms. And what you'll notice is that Revue's now come through and pick those revisions for our new search terms. We'll go ahead and save this to the set again and run it. And it's going to go ahead and recreate all of those hyperlinks. Now notice that all of our hyperlinks have now gone ahead and been updated for us. 170 deleted, 172 created. And when we click to A201, we've now got all of those details re-hyperlinked here. We can jump to A300, and we can jump to A700 again. And that's all updated to the various revisions that were issued. And of course, all of those revisions are stacked and crossed out, as I showed you earlier. Now, just as a heads up, BatchLink also supports Studio Project, SharePoint, and ProjectWise. So you can easily and automatically link drawings from a number of different document management systems. They don't just have to be on a local drive. Now, whether you're in the office or in the field, you're now ready to start your work, right? We've got all of these links set up and everything. So let's go ahead and take these plans that are organized, linked, and navigable and field ready, and let's go ahead and start some work. For this example, I'm going to say that I'm a contractor here, and I'm going to actually be needing to do a flooring and drywall takeoff. So the first thing I'm going to do after I get this document open, is I'm going to go ahead and switch profiles into my takeoff profile. And as you'll notice, the interface has changed completely. We've now got a variety of new tools showing, and we got the markups list open at the bottom here. Now, as a best practice for accurate measurements, we do want to start by going ahead and calibrating this document. So we'll go ahead and calibrate here. This is 6 feet 8 inches. Go ahead and click OK there. And now just to make sure we've got that right, let's take a reference measurement here. And that is 10 feet 5 inches. So we're ready to go now. So in this example, I'm going to go and look for the floor area of room 103. But at the same time, I want to get the wall area for my drywall takeoff. With Review 12, now when I take this measurement of classroom 103 here for square footage, right? I've got that 708 square feet. Review's also going through and automatically taking all the rest of the measurements here. So you'll see we've got that area measurement, but we've also got wall area, volume, and length. Now if we go ahead and change the height here for this wall to 10 feet, change that depth, that should be 10 feet. There we go, type 10 there. So let's say we change that depth to 10 feet. You'll notice that that wall area automatically updated to 1,065 feet, which looks a lot more realistic for a room of this size. Now another new feature in Review 12 is Smart Group, which lets you take related measurements on the page and group them together. One of the things you'll notice here is that I've got some hardwood flooring measurements, and I can break those out here. I've also got some resilient flooring measurements, all of which are working together. We can go ahead and actually group those together so that we have a single group for all of our flooring measurements. So give that a double click, rename that flooring. And under that flooring, we've got resilient flooring, and we've got our hardwood flooring. And we can actually go ahead with Smart Group and make changes to individual annotations within the group. We don't just have to make the changes to the entire group. So we can have one flooring be walnut, one cherry, and one oak, and that all updates automatically. Now as well, these group measurements now automatically calculate a subtotal in the markups list. So as we close this up, one of the things you'll notice real quick is that we've got a subtotal for length and area here, as well as a subtotal over on the side for the pricing. Same with our entire flooring up there. So we can actually close up flooring all together and just get a subtotal for what our cost will be for flooring. And there's a couple other cool new tools when it does come to measurements in Review 12. One of them is the ability to take a center out radius. In Review 11, you have the ability to do a 3-point radius, but with a center radius, now you can find out whether a room is ADA compliant by just pulling out and making sure you've got at least 2 feet 6 inches radius there. A nice turning circle for any wheelchairs. Now another big change has been the way that we do length measurements for small lengths. So if we zoom in here, you'll see that this is a pretty small area. I'm going to hit the Shift key to make sure we get a straight line there. at 1 feet 6 inches. And what you're going to notice is that those arrows have gone on the outside instead of getting scrunched in the middle. And this measurement here can now be moved and even rotated. There we go. There's my rotation button. We can rotate that and now create really professional and clean takeoffs on the page. Now, when my takeoffs are complete, I can go ahead and just export a summary to CSV. And now with Review 12, instead of just including those markups, we can include the totals with them or just take the totals, which gives us the ability now to go ahead and just see all of our totals for this project. So really powerful tools that we've got going on here. Now we do have one other big change when it comes to doing estimation in Review, and that's the ability to calibrate to both an X and a Y scale. For those of you who are doing civil engineering, this is going to be a big thing, I think, for you guys. So what this allows us to do is that we can take measurements on PDFs that have different X and Y scales by calibrating those scales separately. So in the Measurements tab, you'll want to denote that there's a separate Y scale by separate vertical scale there. And then we'll want to go ahead and start calibrating. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and calibrate our horizontal scale here. There's 100 feet. And then we'll calibrate the Y scale, which is only 10 feet. Okay. And just to make sure that we are good on that Y calibration, we're going to go ahead and just measure straight on up here. And that's 24 feet 0 inches. So we got a perfect match there. Now, we can do that vertical measurement, right, and get that right measurement. But even more important is the ability to come through and actually measure these lines that are, not on the X or Y scale. They're really a diagonal line. So we can now start measuring railways, bridges, roadways, or pipelines. And it's never been easier or more precise than it is using Review 12 with split vertical scales. Now finally, we do have one more enhancement, and that's capture. As the project moves closer to completion and the often painful process of punch and back check begins, Revue's new capture tool makes it even easier to track and reference site conditions and issues that need to be addressed. So let's go ahead and complete our punch walk here in real time by logging into the studio session and switching over to our punch profile. Now one of the things that you're going to notice in our punch profile, we'll jump back into studio on the side there, is that my colleague Mark is actually hanging out with us here, helping me to punch this building. And he's out on his iPad in the field. So if I were out in the field, let's say at one end of this building over here, I could go ahead and using the tool chest over here in the punch profile, I could throw down some punch keys. So let's say that there is, put this into detail mode so we know what we're punching. Let's say that there's a foreign substance on the surface of this wall here. We can go ahead and throw that punch key down. Now, if I saw that there was actually a problem that needed to be repaired, let's say we've got some problems with the drywall surface here, maybe a crack there. With Capture, I can now associate pictures with that from my camera, or even go ahead and associate them from a file. So we can go ahead and capture, pick from a file right on the desktop here, take these images, and here's that wall issue right there. Open it up and drop it right on. Now when we click that image, what you'll see is that crack shows up on both of those wall images. Now, we could even add additional photos if we wanted to from this dialog here, or we can go ahead and delete some photos just using the trash can there. No, as well, if Mark is on the field and he's asked me to take a look at what he's doing, I can go ahead and follow him around. And it looks like there's some wiring issues over there. And he found some other ones in this room. Just going to take a look at that. Oh, that's actually a wall issue there, similar to the one we saw earlier. Looks like there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. Oh, but here's that issue again. And he's found some more in the building. So we can now all be looking at the same stuff and really documenting those photos from the site right here onto the PDF without having to go through and add them directly to the PDF with the image tool. They're now nicely hidden with that markup. Now, when we're done documenting our site walk, I can go ahead and sort and filter these all by subject. So come down here, go ahead, sort and filter by subject. And then we can actually go ahead and create a PDF summary. And I'm going to create a table summary so that we can see all of those images right on the summary. Review's going through, and it's going to create just a single report with all of those images. And what you'll see is it's got everything we've done. It's got any notes based on it, and any images that are related have gone ahead and been added here. We've got exposed wiring, looks like the carpet's coming up. So there's a lot of problems we need to take care of here. But the good news is that as those various items do become addressed, I can now go through and use the statuses to determine that they're done. So let's say we're down here, we've got a missing doorstop. That's actually been completed. So we can come down here, GC status, completed, all done. Exposed wiring, oh, we took care of that too. Again, GC status completed. And with that change, you can see that it's now green and easy to tell apart from all of those red markups there. So we can easily determine which items have been completed and which items are still outstanding. That concludes this presentation of Review 12. And let me go ahead and jump us into the slides again. And we'll go ahead and take your questions at this time. So please feel free to type them in, and we'll open this up for Q&A.
All right. So it looks like we have actually several questions for you.
Awesome.
All right. All right. So what toolbar are you using to do sectioning? Can you do the same with a Revit model PDF export?
Yeah. So all of the 3D PDF capabilities that I showed you, and go ahead and escape out of this again. All of those 3D PDF features that I showed you using that SketchUp model are actually available on Revit model. So I'm going to go ahead and just open one up for you and show you what's going on. So I've got your basic sample house. I'm sure those of you Revit users have probably seen this one a couple of times. And this toolbar that you see up top here actually defaults to turn on every time you open a 3D PDF. So now every time you open the 3D PDF, you have access to all of the tools, including the ability to move those model parts and to create those section boxes. So here on the drop-down, this is where we do cross-sections, but if you hit the little arrow beside it, you can now show a section box. And now we can cut right in and see right into the living room there. So pull in. And that's all done just directly from those 3D options that pop up every time that you open a 3D PDF in Review. Great question.
All right. So then the drawings that are being seen in Review 12, he wants to know, can he see them as a black background with the drawing as white, so white lines against the black background?
If you export your PDF as a black background with white lines, that's the easiest way to do that. There is also the ability within Review to go ahead and change the coloration, and I'm just going to have to remember where that feature is. But we do have a feature available. Let me go ahead and find it here for you. Process, here we go, color processing. So your before and after, so you can take your source color of black and change that to another color. Or we can even colorize things that are black and white. So we can take anything that's black or anything that's white and change it to black and go ahead and process those images. So we do have those options, but the easiest way to do it is to export your model directly from Revit or AutoCAD or SketchUp or wherever you're exporting from with the black background and the white lens.
Great. In the punch profile, a person who is in the field and make changes and saves them, can I see the same changes instantly while I'm at the office?
Yes. So using Bluebeam Studio, which we were in over here, and which our punch document is uploaded to. Bluebeam Studio Sessions is real-time punch. It means everybody needs an internet connection, but it allows the people in the field and the people in the office to see the same thing at all times. The punch profile just happens to be helpful because it has all of these punch symbols, but any studio session, regardless of what profile the person is in, does support the ability to go ahead and see all of the changes that are happening in real time. So this is great for punch. It's also great for design review and plan review. So early into the project, as you're starting to determine, is this feasible? Do we need to make changes to the design? That can all be done as well in Bluebeam Studio Sessions in real time. Multiple people collaborating at the same time or at different times.
Great. In 3D PDFs from Revit, the parameters or properties of the elements are also exported. Okay, so in 3D PDFs, when it's from Revit, the parameters or properties of the elements are also exported and embedded in the PDF?
Yep. Was there more to the question?
So when you export it from Revit, are the properties and parameters also exported and embedded into the PDF?
Yes. So any of the properties that are associated with your Revit model or a Navisworks model will be exported with that part and will show up in the 3D properties. So for example, this part has these properties. And as we click through, you'll see that different parts, some have properties associated with them and others do not. It just depends on the model parts that we used. Let me find you one. Here we go. So we've got a lot of properties for this foundation, not so many for some of the other parts. But as we click through, you can see the properties associated with any part if there are associated properties. So that does all get exported over, as does all of the naming conventions over here. So you can go through and see what types of windows and surfaces you've gone ahead and added.
All right, and we have another question about the coloring. Can we set the process of black to white background drawings as the default? So can you have like a default sort of view setting?
That's a good question. I don't actually know if there's a way to default that, but I can go ahead and look into that for you and get back to you with an answer for that.
Great. What if your device in the field does not have any data service?
Great question. So for people who want to take advantage of collaboration, but who have devices in the field that may not be connected to Wi-Fi, within Studio, we have an option called Studio Projects. So Studio Sessions is that real-time document-based collaboration, which is great for everyone to see the same thing at the same time. But if you want to be able to access those files in the field, say on an iPad or a tablet running the full version of Windows 8, Studio Projects is a great way to do that. While you're in the mobile trailer, you can go ahead and sync those files locally. So I've got the sync turned on here for A201. I'm going to go ahead and sync it to my computer, and I'm going to close this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and check it out now. So that's gone ahead. It's checked out pending changes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take myself offline, open up that document, and add some markups while we're offline here. So offline here, since we're in Punch, I'm just going to add a Punch symbol, that drywall surface. We can even add, photos using capture while we're offline. I'm just going to go ahead and do that from the files on my computer, but that could be done with the camera. So all of this is taken care of. And now that we're done with this, we can go ahead and come back online once we're back in the trailer. Go ahead and check this in. Added Punch comments. Right. So now we've got that all checked back in and resynced so that we have the latest version of that file on our computer in case, or our tablet PC in case we're headed back out into the field and need to access that file again. So it's not real time, but it does allow for multiple people to collaborate on a single document, with a check-in, check-out kind of procedure while they're in the field without internet.
For the icons on your desktop, can I see a thumbnail of my actual drawing as opposed to seeing the Bluebeam icon so that navigating through a list of my PDFs is easier?
I'm also not sure about that one, but I can look into that one as well. I think it's just the Bluebeam icon, but I'll look into that.
Great. Do we have anything else? Does real-time let you do walkthroughs?
There's no way to do a walkthrough in the way that Navisworks does a walkthrough. So even with a 3D PDF, while you can save views and allow people to see multiple views, there's no way to really automate a walkthrough in the same way that Navisworks does. So you will need that if you're looking specifically to do walkthroughs. But if you're just looking to share that model information, allow people to navigate through the model on their own, Bluebeam Revu will more than do that for them.
Well, great. Thank you, everyone, for their great set of questions. Really, really helpful stuff, Meredith. Just bear with me just for a couple more seconds. I have a couple of really great links for you guys in case you do want to learn more, or you want to check this out or share this presentation with anyone else. All right, so if you want to check out our next webinar is going to be on AutoCAD 2014. We'll be demonstrating the latest features of AutoCAD, such as live maps, geolocation tools, and powerful new reality capture capabilities. We'll also show you how to take your creations to the next level with stunning visualizations, enhanced workflow capabilities, cloud and mobile collaboration. You can register online at the address on the screen. If you would like to watch this or any of our other webinars, we've been posting a lot of really great clips. You can check those out on our YouTube channel. Our name is Microdust Channel. And if you want some really great Bluebeam links, Bluebeam's provided us with a really great list of sites that you should go check out. If you want to learn more about Review 12, or you want to just download a free 30-day trial, check out some free tutorials and training materials, or even just go straight to buy Review 12. Those are the links that you can go through. You can learn more about Microdust's relationship with Bluebeam at our website and our About page. If you would like to check out our presentation again, it's on our YouTube channel. Our name is Microdust Channel, and we'll be posting it within probably about a day. And if you'd like to contact us, if you had any questions that you want to ask that you didn't get a chance to, feel free to contact us at webinars@microdust.com. Check out our website, www.microdust.com, or give us a phone call at 1-800-336-3375. And check us out on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and again, YouTube. All right, thank you. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day.
Yep, thank you so much.